Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. Everything continues to get worse for this fan base and for this organization. Now, we have to go back over a year ago. When you look at what Mark Cuban did, he sold his shares. He's no longer the main owner with the Dallas Mavericks. It's now Patrick Dumont. He comes in and he changes everything. This is a man that has a lot of ties in Vegas. And trust me, what I'm saying right now will tie in later into this video. But this man has a lot of hotels, a lot of casinos, and just basically a lot of resorts in Vegas. He wants to legalize sports betting all across Texas, every single app. That is what he is known for. He cares more about profit than he cares about the basketball team winning. Because what you saw with Mark Cuban, at least he cared about championships. And you can say that he did not treat his players the best in terms of going out there and paying them. And they've traded some players in the past. Mark Cuban was not the perfect owner, but he had the passion with the Dallas Mavericks, and he was a fan, and he still is a fan. He loves the fan base. The problem is this: when you bring in a greedy owner and a greedy ownership group that the Mavericks have right now, look at what they just did last night. Kyrie Irving went down with a knee injury. He tore his ACL. He's done for the rest of the season, and he's going to miss a good portion of the next season also, and he's up for a contract extension. But it's more than just that. You traded the fan favorite in Luka. You traded your best player to the Los Angeles Lakers when he didn't want to be traded. He came out many times. He looked depressed in his first press conference with the Lakers when he was sitting across the general manager, Rob Pelinka. He did not look like he wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker, and they cost him a lot of money on his next contract extension because he could have got the Supermax with the Mavericks. You traded him, a fan favorite, a man that got you to the NBA Finals just 9 months ago against the Boston Celtics. You traded him, and you have the audacity to raise up ticket prices for season ticket holders by 8.6%. That is double the price of this year. I don't see that many Maverick fans going out there and supporting for the rest of the season the fact that Kyrie Irving, he's gone for the rest of the year. Luka, he's no longer part of the organization. And Anthony Davis, we don't know when he's going to come back. You traded Luka for an injury-prone big, and as great as Anthony Davis is, he is not a better player than Luka. He's a better defensive player by far. But overall, when you just look at impact on the game, Luka is a better fit for the Mavericks, and he's a better fit with the Lakers playing alongside LeBron James. The Lakers right now are the second best team in the Western Conference. Since the Mavericks traded Luka, it has just been a downward spiral since then. And I understand that Luka was out. He was dealing with an injury. They had injury concerns about Luka. It was so many reports that came out to basically they're dogging Luka. They're saying that he was smoking too much. He was drinking too much. It was a lot of bad habits. Well, Luka had all those bad habits, and he still got you to the NBA Finals. Luka had all those bad habits, and he has consistently been a top 5 player in the NBA when he's fully healthy. You've had so many great moments with him being your franchise player, and you traded him away because of his habits and because of his injury history. For a guy, Anthony Davis, that could not stay healthy with the Pelicans, and he could not stay healthy with the Lakers. And he comes over to the Dallas Mavericks. He has a great debut, but he couldn't finish out the game because he got injured. And we haven't seen him play basketball since that injury against the Houston Rockets many weeks ago. Nico deserves to be fired, but it comes down from the ownership. The owner comes out. He said that he supports Nico. He understands where he's coming from. It seems like the Mavericks' brand new ownership, it seems like they hate this fan base and they really want to relocate this team because not only are they raising up ticket prices, they're saying they're raising this up for team investment and for fan engagement. You're not going to have that much fan engagement. You're going to be a bad basketball team for the rest of the season for the simple fact that Anthony Davis is still out and Kyrie Irving, he's out for the rest of the year. So who's going to be your main offensive players that you're going to have to depend on right now? Spencer Dinwiddie, Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson is wildly inconsistent. Dante Exum, Max Christie. Now, Max Christie has been a very good basketball player. He has the potential to be one of the best 3-and-D guards in the NBA in the next 2 to 3 years. I really like his skill set. But it wasn't worth going out there and trading Luka to bring him in with Anthony Davis. And I look at the training staff and the conditioning staff. All of them should be fired because we're looking at injuries to Daniel Gafford, Kyrie Irving, PJ Washington, he's been dealing with injuries also. Kyrie Irving, before he dealt with his torn ACL, he was dealing with an injury to his back. And Derek Lively is still out dealing with a foot injury. He has not returned. So it has been an injury-riddled season, But we have seen the Mavericks in the past deal with so many injuries, and who was Superman even when he was injured? Luka. Even when he had a hurt knee, he was still going out there giving you 25 to 30 points a game. You just don't trade a generational talent because it is so hard to draft a generational talent in any sports league, whether it's baseball, football, basketball. And you traded him away for an older player that can't stay healthy. And when you look at Anthony Davis, his contract is going to run out sooner than later. So you're going to have to give him a contract extension. The same with Kyrie Irving. There's a lot of reports right now that the Dallas Mavericks could be out there and they could be in talks about trading for Kevin Durant this offseason. I don't even know if that's going to work out because now you have a huge problem with Kyrie Irving being out. How long is he going to be out for this torn ACL injury? And not only just that, when you look at Kyrie Irving, what is he known for? His playmaking skills, moving up and down the court, being a fast basketball player, and his dribble moves. Will he have the same efficiency dealing with this knee injury? Because a torn ACL is not a simple fix. That's a major injury to come back from as an older player that plays that guard position. So I look at the Dallas Mavericks right now. You're focused on defense. You want to win so many games with your defense. What good is having these players if they can't stay healthy and they can't stay on the court? And I'm not going to blame Jason Kidd for this because Jason Kidd did not know that Luka was going to be traded. Jason Kidd did not know they were going to raise up ticket prices. I would not be shocked if Jason Kidd wanted out of this situation with the Dallas Mavericks because he deserves better. We have seen him in the past be a tremendous head coach with the Dallas Mavericks. I wish that Mark Cuban never sold his shares, and I wish that he was still the main owner with the Mavericks because none of this would have went down with Luka. You traded that man to the Lakers, and he comes out and he puts up a triple-double against you on the road. And Luka is supposed to return to Dallas in a couple of days as I record this video. So imagine how that game is going to go for the Dallas Mavericks. And you're kicking out fans when they say fire Nico, when they bring in signs and they say fire Nico. This organization in just 9 months has taken a complete 180. And I blame Nico for all of it. Every single bit of it. Because he was the man that made the decision to go out there and trade Luka. And if you're going to trade Luka, why not just put him on the open market and see what other teams are going to offer you? You could have still had the Anthony Davis trade in place. But still, go out there and see what other teams are going to give you. Maybe they give you 3 to 4 first-round picks because it is a limit of first-round picks that you can give a team in the NBA because it's a rule. But you could have got the maximum amount of first-round picks. Bring in 2 to 3 very good basketball players to fill out the roster. Instead, you trade him for that injury-prone big in Anthony Davis and Max Christie. And I'm really not trying to disrespect Anthony Davis. He has had a lot of great moments in his career. He won the NBA championship with LeBron James in the bubble. And many people may say that he was the best player on that Lakers team. I'm going to say this. LeBron was the best player in my opinion. That's why he won Finals MVP. And Anthony Davis, he will give you great moments. But we saw this with the Lakers. He was never able to go out there and take over that number 1 spot. We have seen it in a short sample size with the Lakers this year. When LeBron James is not red hot, when he wants to take a game off, because he's too tired, he doesn't have to go out there and score 30 points a game. It was times in the playoffs to where he was depending on Anthony Davis to show up, and he just couldn't on the offensive end because he was wildly inconsistent or he would be injured. We look at Luka now. He can handle the offense. He'll go out there. He will give you 30 points a game to where LeBron only has to score 17 points. And Luka can get other players involved. Anthony Davis cannot do that. He posted up a very good double-double in his first matchup against the Houston Rockets with the Dallas Mavericks. But once again, he's not going to be able to consistently do that every single night. We have seen this with Anthony Davis with the Pelicans. We've seen this with the Los Angeles Lakers. You cannot build your team around him because he is older and because he is injury prone. But you can build a championship type of roster around Luka, even if you're dealing with all those injuries. And the one thing with Kyrie Irving, I feel bad for him because he has such a bad reputation with the Brooklyn Nets and that entire situation. No one really wanted to touch Kyrie Irving. So the Mavericks, they go out there and they bring him in. And you wonder about the fit. Is he going to fit with Luka? Is he going to be able to go out there and share the ball with Luka? And it worked. They're one of the best backcourts in the NBA last year. You had certain analysts on ESPN saying that, hey, their backcourt right now may be better than Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. And then they go out there, they bring in Klay Thompson. And even though he's been wildly inconsistent this year, he's an older player. He doesn't have the same defensive presence that he once had before he suffered a torn Achilles and a torn ACL. But you saw him with Kyrie Irving, with Luka. It was a very good pairing. And you have PJ Washington in the corner playing very good defense and shooting threes, a definition of a true 3-and-D player. And you have Derek Lively, one of the best stories in the NBA. His mom passes away. They get to the NBA Finals. And then you have Daniel Gafford. They had the right team. All you had to do was to go out there, rein in Luka. And I don't believe the reports about him weighing too much. You look at Luka now. He's lost weight. He's in playing shape. And he continues to play better every single game with the Lakers. The three-point shot is not there right now, but it will be there. And we saw this in the past when Luka was dealing with those injuries. You wait on him. You wait for him to come back. You could have had a sit down with Luka instead of trying to embarrass this man and basically come out with those BS reports about him drinking and about him smoking. Michael Jordan, he would drink beer. Allen Iverson, he didn't even want to practice. We've seen this with past greats. Shaquille O'Neal, he was rarely in shape and he dominated. You didn't see the Lakers complaining when they won championships. The notion that every player has to be like LeBron and be 100% all in and be obsessed with the game, let's stop that. Because a lot of players and their all-time greats, they were not obsessed with the game like how they want you to think. You look at Dennis Rodman, all-time great player. This man took time off. All the stunts that he did, especially with the San Antonio Spurs, but he was an all-time great. You put up with that. And Luka was not the same headache as those players. They tried to weight shame this man. They tried to go out there and say that he had too many bad habits, even though that he just bought a house in Dallas with his wife and he just had a child. They blindsided this man. That is how disrespectful this organization was. So when players go out there and they don't show loyalty, I don't blame them anymore because it's rare for an organization to go out there and show you loyalty all the way. So they can go out there, they can try to trade for Kevin Durant. I doubt that that would even work out because you look at Kevin Durant, he's been dealing with injuries since he tore his Achilles many years ago with the Golden State Warriors. And if the attendance does drop for the Dallas Mavericks, I can easily see this ownership group going to Adam Silver and saying, hey, we can get a better attendance in Las Vegas. I don't believe in that many conspiracy theories, but I do believe in this. It seems like they're trying to basically push out this fan base and they want to move this team to Vegas because they can sports bet, they can gamble, they can do what they want. And they can also open up that brand new arena with a casino and a resort. That is what this ownership group wants because he has done this in the past with other businesses. He doesn't give a damn about winning. All he cares about is money. And we see that right now. But the audacity of this organization right here going out there, trading the best player, a fan favorite, and raising up those season ticket prices by 8.6%, double the price. And they basically laughed in your face while they did it. Nico is laughing alongside Jason Kidd when he's saying, you know what? AJ Kidd, he likes to be surprised. I didn't discuss this with Jason Kidd. I traded his best player. But you know what? Jason Kidd's going to make it work because he's a great coach. And you just look at Jason Kidd. He's not laughing. Jason Kidd is upset. No one knew about this trade besides Rob Pelinka, Nico, and the ownership groups with Jeannie Buss with the Lakers and Patrick Dumont with the Dallas Mavericks. And this is a man in Mark Cuban who still goes to the games. He still has some saying power with the Mavericks, but it's not that high anymore. He still sits down at courtside. Just 3 years ago, he said, man, if I had to pick my wife or Luka, I'm picking Luka. Now, obviously, he was joking, but he loved Luka. He even hung out with Luka outside of him just playing basketball. He viewed Luka as a friend, and he traded him away. I want to see things get better for the Dallas Mavericks for this fan base sake because most Maverick fans, some of them are Dallas Cowboy fans. And let's just be honest, the Mavericks and the Cowboys right now, they're not in a good spot. But at least with the Mavericks, you went to the finals last year. That's definitely not going to be the case this season. And even when Anthony Davis comes back, they may be behind the 8 ball too much. You may have to go through the play-in tournament. And I just don't see them making a deep playoff run without Kyrie Irving. I just don't see it happening. And I am worried about that guard position long term because Kyrie Irving is an older player and Anthony Davis, he's older also. We're talking about Luka, who is 25 years old. You can still build this roster around him even over the age of 30 because of his skill set and the way that he's able to play every single night. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the Dallas Mavericks. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.